This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monte Moore with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and I'm Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow along and subscribe at talkmusiccity.com.
Got a question for us? Ask away at questions@talkmusiccity.com.
Monty.
Carey Ann.
So good to see you.
You're so always impressing, and to not feel good and still be here, you're amazing.
The
trooper.
Voice is a few octaves lower, but we can do this. It's going to be fine.
And we have some awesome people with us today, Mr.
We do.
Blake Johnson. Happy to be here.
Welcome back, Mr.
And
Blake.
our special guest today is Danielle from For Patriots.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
So you might be asking yourself, what has For Patriots got to do with real estate?
You haven't told me.
What's For Patriots got to do with mortgages?
I can't wait to hear.
It has to do with life.
Life.
Okay? It has to do with being wise.
Wise.
And not like that grasshopper who's just popping around there and just kind of not even thinking about what tomorrow looks like.
Okay, I actually almost had a grasshopper pop in my house the other day. So I know what you're talking about.
No, this is about, this. I'm excited about this. Ever since we moved into our Nashville location, we share some space with this company called For Patriots. And all I can say is I'm thrilled to have you guys as neighbors, Danielle, because there's something I think so relevant in our world today to not have to worry about tomorrow. And I think that's one of the messages that they do a great job in conveying is let's not worry about tomorrow. Let's go ahead and get, a few things extra. And we live in the South, things can happen. My wife currently is in Florida right now, and she is hunkering down because of this giant storm coming through.
My mom as well. Mm-hmm.
She's in, she's in Orlando area, and she said that I-4 is a parking lot right now from between there and Tampa because Tampa is bailing out and heading east. So anyway, it's life can happen, and it's a good time to be prepared. So anyhow. Danielle, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I actually see a lot of crossover between what we do, which is we sell products for preparedness, and I'll explain what that is in a second. But preparedness basically just means that you are thinking now for your security and comfort later. Mm-hmm. Like I was telling Blake earlier, if you bought toilet paper as a 24-pack rather than the 3-pack, you don't have 24 toilets in your home. I know
That's
you
true.
don't.
Good point.
You've planned ahead for security and comfort. So everybody's doing some kind of preparedness. Mm-hmm. We just help support people that are doing it for maybe longer term, more than just a 1 or 2 hour problem in their home. Maybe they're preparing for something that's a larger problem that happens. Mm-hmm. The kinds of things that we have are really high-tech water filters. Having clean water to drink is great. And it's one of those things that we have learned from Flint, Michigan and some other kinds of things that's not always a guarantee.
Right.
And so being able to take care of that for yourself and always having that security is great for people. So just simple, makes basic common sense in most cases.
Here's one of my favorites that you guys offer, and we're not getting into selling products so much today is so much as just giving people ideas of things. We gave a bunch of these out for Christmas presents last year before. And what a great tool, since we're always connected to our phones, to be able to have one plugged in that is solar powered.
Yeah. So since we're a podcast, we don't know what you're holding there, Monty.
No, but we're a visual podcast.
Okay. So what are you holding there?
I'm holding a battery the size of my phone.
Okay. Oh, and it's solar.
That is solar powered.
Smart.
Yeah, you really do feel smart when you have it, and you need, and I keep that in my car, so it's really, really handy.
That is helpful because I have 5 battery packs like that are all dead that are not solar powered, so that would be helpful.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can probably lay them in the sun and it probably wouldn't do that much good.
Right, exactly. That's amazing. So just something so simple as that, right? Being able to utilize our cell phone at all times when we lose electricity.
Yeah,
the topic of water, I don't know if anybody knows this, but if you have a pool, your pool water is cleaner than the water coming out of your tap. You have a pool, so have you thought about that? I'm not put you on the spot, Carey, and that's not the goal. But it is the goal here today is to get people thinking. Okay, was like everybody, most folks, and didn't think about that because, hey, there's always the grocery store. And then, something happened about 6-7 years ago, and I thought, wow, and I won't go down that rabbit hole about my fear of who was going to become president, and all that kind of stuff. But it did cause me to take action. It caused me to think. But the point of the story is really that I won't go into is that I think everybody remembers last year when we ran out of toilet paper. We didn't at my house because we already had gotten prepared. We already stored up some things. We didn't have to worry about it. Blake, what's your take on this topic? You're the ripe old age of mid-20s.
He has a giant smile on his face right now, so I'm excited to hear what he has to say.
Well, this just is really important to both my wife and I, as well as both of our families, is just having some level of preparedness, not for the 3-day or 3-hour like we were talking about pre-podcast, but just, what happens if there's no electricity? What happens if we can't use the tap water? All that kind of stuff. So when Monte said that For Patriots is coming on, I said I had to be on the podcast just because I wanted to have the opportunity to kind of witness this and figure out what the connection is between our professions and what's the symbiosis here? How can we all figure out ways of working together? And
I think home ownership at its core is prepping. Mm-hmm. It is spending some money now so that you have that security and comfort later. So there isn't a landlord that's going to raise the rent on you, that you can have that security of having a space that you can be at no matter what is happening in the city around you. Mm-hmm. It's that same idea of I've invested in being safe and comfortable later. Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's all prepping is. Mm-hmm. And if you think about something that could be uncomfortable for a 3-day period, then you're going to plan ahead for that. Oh no, I've been in an ice storm. I know how terrible it is to not have power for 3 days. Then once you've had that bad experience, you're going to plan ahead for it. You're going to want to be more safe and comfortable later. So I think home ownership and anyone who is already on that line of thinking of, yes, I want to be comfortable and safe later in my life. Yeah, they're already there. They're already thinking those kind of things.
Yeah. Monte did remind me that maybe I should prepare the first of last year, right? So I prepared. And then I realized that I'm just going to eat the food that I bought, right? And so I ended up digging into all that. And then all of a sudden we get the ice storm. And I'm over here, this New Englander, thinking, we're going to be fine. Everything's fine. And then I realized that you can't get Uber Eats. This is because I don't cook. You can't get this, you can't get that. I mean, we already ate out all the food and the water that we already had from the first go around. So I definitely understand the preparation because we were just eating out of cans at that point because we had no way to get anywhere. Oh, here we go. We've got a survival food kit. I'm not so sure that. Please tell me how I'm going to enjoy that. I'm not sure yet. The diva over here goes, not so sure what's happening. That's coming out of a bag. But when in doubt, when necessary, if I can't kill the animal behind the tree, maybe I'll eat this.
I'm looking at Carey Ann right now. I don't envision her doing a lot of animal skinning.
Her husband is a major hunter.
Maybe this is before we have to go kill our neighbor's dog.
Let's not even say that. Never going to do that.
So she says she doesn't cook, and so the first thing I do is I'm going to pull out our survival food, not only because it lasts for 25 years, because that's...
25 years?
25 years.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know
that's
what makes...
longer than life insurance.
I know, it sounds creepy, right? So Blake and I had this conversation before. If you haven't heard of it before, survival food sounds creepy.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, why should food last 25 years? What did you do to it? But it's not creepy because what makes food go bad? Bacteria.
Okay.
And fungus.
Yeah.
Right? What does bacteria and fungus, what do they need to grow?
Moisture.
They need moisture. They need
air.
Oxygen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so what we have done is we've taken real, actual, honest-to-gosh food and removed all of the moisture and all of the air. That's it.
Yeah.
And put it inside. It's Mylar packaging, so the air can't get in, light can't get in. And so there's nothing in here that makes the food go bad. It's just the food.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know that Carey Ann holds herself out to be a chef. But anybody can warm this up, right?
That's why I pulled it out.
Right.
So I'm like, honey, maybe you just want this like in your house.
There's no
just
criticism in
general.
that, Carey Ann,
Hey,
okay?
I'm taking
we
ownership
all,
of
we
it.
all
Totally
stay
fine.
in our lane, okay?
I'm staying in the mortgage lane. That is what I'm staying in.
This
Totally
this
fine.
is easier to make than Kraft mac and cheese.
Okay.
You just
Well, I'm
dump it
only
in with
reading-
some
there's
boiling
only-
water. That's it.
Yeah, there's only 4 steps here.
Here's the deal. I
That's
do
it.
like the idea
That's
that,
it.
you know, you just never know, because I think we do take for granted that tomorrow, we learned even the previous Christmas, right, when we lost our cell phones.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't realize how much you use your cell phone until you can't use your cell phone, right?
All the realtors out there know, like, realtors use their cell
Realtors.
phone all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Every time. They're like, no, we know.
Well, at the time, we didn't know what was happening, right?
Yeah.
We're going to the neighbor going, what's going on? I mean, we went to Christmas with all kinds of things packed, not sure what was happening that particular day, which was so sad, with what went down downtown. So you have to be prepared at all times, correct?
Right.
I mean, and we've all experienced something. And then as real estate agents and mortgage lenders, preparing our clients for that just in case, and or like your wife and my mom right now in Florida, we don't know what they're about to experience, and my mom said that she got the last case of water, at Costco. Well, that's what she was able to get, and there's probably so many more people that are in need, and she could probably find, someone to connect with, but being prepared is so key.
Well, Connie got there, Sunday, and already she went to the store to make sure she had some things, because we're not as equipped there as
Right.
we are here. And the shelves are already cleaned out, pretty much, except for the stuff nobody wants,
Exactly.
So, especially the water. The water was all gone. It's amazing how thirsty people get when the lights go out, I guess. But you do have a water filter.
Absolutely. We actually
Okay.
have multiple different kinds of water filters based
So-
off of what you're going to do. But
I assume generators.
we do. We have multiple sizes of generators.
So Danielle, on that topic, let's talk about what do you guys offer? Okay, I'd like for everybody to know what you have available.
Sure. So, food, of course, we have multiple kinds of food. We have water filters. We have power in lots of different sizes, from anything from down to the small phone-sized power cell that you were holding, up to one that holds 768 watt hours that'll run your refrigerator for a day.
Wow.
And they're all portable. Because we're an online company and we ship everything that we carry is portable in some way, because we have to ship it to you.
Sure.
And so there's always that benefit of it. We have water filters that are something you can put in your pocket, something you want to put on your countertop, or maybe something you want to take in your RV or go camping with you. So lots of different things depending on what your needs are, and how you are interacting with some emergency needs.
So what do you, I'm sure you guys must have a standard, okay, for somebody starting out, what do you recommend that they do? Just what is it based on affordability?
Base
or,
survival kit.
you know,
I
what's,
feel like I'm back in brownies. I'm getting the badge today.
that's
You're getting
right,
the badge
that's
today.
right.
So I really like to think about a 3-hour problem, a 3-day problem, a 3-month problem, or a 3-year problem.
Wow.
I find that that's just easy for people to hold on to.
Wow.
I find that most people are pretty prepared for a 3-hour problem. You know, maybe a new homeowner is not, because they haven't had that first time when their power
Sure.
goes out. But after that first time, they're like, oh, shoot, I need to know where my flashlight is. I need to have some sort of snack in the house that I can eat that doesn't need heated up, right? They figure that out. A 3-day problem happens a lot more than we give it credit for. It is your ice storms, it's your hurricanes, it's we're going to have a few days without power or without being able to access a store, or, the flood comes and my main road to anywhere is underwater for 8 feet of water for a week.
Sure,
You know,
right.
things like things you don't expect to happen. And once they do happen, you're like, oh, I need to be prepared for that. And so I recommend that you start at the 3-hour. If you're not ready for 3 hours, but let's start there. If you are ready for 3 hours, how you doing on 3 days? You ready for that? And we have something like a 72-hour food kit. So worst case, you're going to at least be able to eat.
I love that approach.
Yeah.
You know, that's bite size
Yeah.
at wherever you're at.
Wherever you're at. I don't recommend a 3-year prep plan for someone that has never done any sort of preparation at all. you don't know what your family needs then. You haven't thought about it. You're not prepared for that kind of investment. I like people to build to where they're comfortable. So once they're ready for 3 days, how you doing on 3 weeks? Right? You got that? And then you can think about more. You think about, okay, I feel good with this. I really like having that. I had this incident happen and I was able to feel good. I had lights. I plugged in my router and we had our computers and we had food. And actually this last 3-day event wasn't really a problem for us at all. I felt great about that. And I'm ready to do that again. Then they're ready to do some more, and they're ready to do the research to do some more. You should just come to 4 Patriots. Don't do research. And
there you go.
And then they're ready for that. I just like people to come to it as they feel most comfortable. I'm not going to tell you what you need. I don't know the size of your family. I don't know what you like to eat. I don't know anything about what's going on, how close you are, what other resources you have. But you know, and we can help you get information along the way.
That's so important.
So, Danielle, let's take a little side trip right now, and I should have probably brought this up before now, but there are multiple choices out there of companies, similar companies. Tell us a little bit about the background story of 4 Patriots, so we have an understanding of why we want to choose them, other than how wonderful you are.
and to have that, tell us how our purchase helps heroes.
Oh yes, I will do that as well. So when we first got into this business, we were actually surprised and uncomfortable how shady this world was. There were so few companies that were treating their customers with dignity and respect that we were surprised that the category even existed. Like, wow. For example, during 2020, there were many companies that were selling food kits that they didn't plan on having, had no idea how they were going to have, but they sold it to people anyway and said, we'll ship it when we get it, which ended up being 6 months, 8 months, a year later.
Wow.
That kind of thing where it was just disrespectful to customers. So our first core is the customer is important and primary, and we want to treat them right.
So you guys aren't selling stuff you don't have?
We don't sell stuff we don't have, and we
Cool.
don't sell junk.
Awesome.
We champion freedom and self-reliance. That's our core mantra at our company. We want you to be able to live the life that you want, and we will do that, and we'll support that in the ways that we can. We are family-owned, absolutely. It's just started by a friend of mine, her husband, her dad, and that's where we got started. It really is a family-owned company. It's an LLC. It's not.
Are these former Patriots?
They are. They have grown into stronger believers during the course of supporting these products. So they started off just as marketers, and then they're like, oh, wait, this makes a lot of sense, and I love where this is coming from, and this is really smart. And they have gotten more and more into the culture of this as they've owned this company.
I mean, a very sensitive space in Carey Ann's heart is the whole Patriot, anything to do with Patriots. She's all about giving them the best possible, help. Because in our world, it seems like so often the Patriot who has given their life in so many ways to our country is then not the first choice when helping somebody buy a home because of financing and so forth. And so Carey Ann single-handedly is making a difference in that whole arena.
Yes,
which we're grateful
absolutely. And so we connect this back to the servicemen and women?
We absolutely do. We always give a portion, and depending on how strong our finance of the year, it's more or less, but we give at least 1% of all of our income back over to Patriot or veteran and veteran-owned corporations.
Oh, very nice.
And things that support veterans. And we do hands-on. We've got a gift wrapping thing coming up that we're helping for children who have lost a soldier parent. We do a lot of hands-on with veteran charities all around Nashville.
Very nice. Well, that's so wonderful.
Yep.
But again, I think, no matter however you want to look at this, I think being prepared is always important. I learned that last year with a little one, not being prepared, assuming like I could make magic happen. And all I had was snow and ice and snow and ice and a cookie sheet. But, being prepared is key. So from, your water to your generator to your solar power equipment to the water filter to the 25-year aged food over here. I love it. I think being prepared is so key. So for Patriots, plus you give a portion back to our veteran community, and that's even a huge win.
We do.
So what's the best way for folks to reach out to you guys? I'm hoping that, see, guys, for those who know me, know that I play Uncle Monte here more than once with our family of real estate professionals, and I really strongly encourage folks to have at least a week or two, if ideally at least a month or two. I like the three thing. That's a good concept because we can get our arms around that. But I'd like to play Uncle Monte here with each one of you that's watching this as well. Don't wish you had taken a few dollars and invested in your future and your comfort. I can tell you firsthand. I mean, Connie and I have probably, I don't know, it doesn't matter how far we can make it without
I'm moving in. I'm just moving into Monte's house.
Yeah, that's why you don't. That's why you don't want to let people know.
Yeah, that's why he bit his
headed
tongue.
to your house.
But I will say this though, even if it was only a week or two, I would feel. And again, I don't want to put my trust in what I have. My trust is in a higher power for sure, but it is comforting. Blake, don't you identify with that? Don't
absolutely.
you? I mean, you used to be at the mercy of whatever's going on in the economy.
Right.
And now you guys
well,
are.
and then
right?
Uncle Monte got on my back when I think it was that same ice storm. Anyways, I love this stuff. I have 3 questions for you. No, sorry, 2 questions. One, to the people who are viewing, looks like a great plastic bag, but the biggest question is, does it taste good?
Okay, so I've tasted every survival food out there. I was the taste person for the development of our food.
Wow.
I was. I have eaten a lot of survival food. The people that make our survival food are the ones that made the best tasting things, and we negotiated price after that. We came up with a new mac and cheese recipe that we'll be bringing out very shortly. I tasted 15 different mac and cheeses. None of them pleased me. I said, I need more of this. I need less of this. I made them go back 8 times to make a mac and cheese that I liked. So yes, it tastes good. It tastes better than any other survival food out there because I said so and it was important to me.
Hey, it's going to taste better than if I cooked it.
No,
so,
well,
hey.
I know people are asking me.
There you go.
This. You
There.
can boil water.
Well, it's
And
like-
if I have no food, I'm gonna totally eat that, right? If I have nothing else
that's my
to eat.
attitude. I mean, I appreciate your commitment to quality when it comes to taste and so forth. But if you're, nothing else to eat, you're just not hungry enough if it doesn't taste good yet. Is my attitude. That's how I raise my
Yeah.
kids. I'll get hungry first.
Yeah, this is all you get, or you don't get anything,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Type of
Come
thing.
on.
Right.
Right. And
Second question.
for people who are in the prepping mode, I like that 3, 3, 3, and 3. What limitations do we have when it comes to storing? Do I need to keep it in a refrigerator? Do I need to buy another refrigerator? Do I need to keep it in climate controlled? Is it okay in a garage that's not insulated?
So one of the nice things about survival food, as opposed to just putting things up that are, your pasta or your canned foods, is that the storage for this is really easy. You can throw it under your bed. You can. It likes to be less than 95 degrees, so depending on how hot your garage gets, maybe your garage isn't the best. There are oils in these that can start to get rancid if you store it too hot. But outside of that, it doesn't need refrigeration. You don't have to do a turnover of it. If you have canned food, they go bad after a while, so you have to eat the stuff that you stored like a few years ago to make sure it doesn't go bad. You don't have to do that with this. It is good for 25 years. And actually, after 25 years, you can still eat it. It's still safe to eat. That's just when the vitamins and minerals start to go down, so it's not quite as nutritious
I would have
anymore.
lost it by then, anyways.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's totally not going to be found
She's like,
within
I
25
am not
years.
going to be one of those people that's here at the end of the world. No.
totally fine.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, this is great. So the other thing too, I just remembered, our bottled water if it's bottled in plastic, you can't have it in the heat anyways,
Right, not at
right?
all,
So you
yeah.
got to be thinking about that too. There's a lot of things to think about when you actually pause after being so busy as a real estate agent and a mortgage lender, and pause to think 2 steps ahead is really what we're talking about here, and be preparing not only for yourself but also for your clients. I think that what you were saying too is about some gifting. I think that's a great option too, where you already have that
this makes
safety
it
kit
awesome.
for your clients, and have them have that, in their back closet for that so-called rainy day.
Yeah,
So
Monte, when you said you were giving those away for Christmas, I'm kind of
I
disappointed.
think that was before your time. I'm sorry.
Whatever. Yeah.
I can tell you, if you call each one of my children, that's what they got for Christmas.
There you go.
And the grandkids.
So how do we get to connect with 4 Patriots? Is there a website?
4 Patriots, that's the number 4, patriots.com is our main website. We actually have a special offer for listeners today. So if you go to 4patriots.com backslash, excuse me, backslash.
It's fine. We're
Apparently I'm
thinking
thinking about
homeowners.
home ownership, excuse me. 4patriots.com backslash, thank you, real estate. We have a special offer for you today on our 3-month food kit if you're there. But you can at least find out about it and learn more about survival food if that's a thing that you're interested in.
So 4Patriots /realestate.com.
4patriots.com
Okay.
/real estate.
4patriots.com /real estate. And you can
the
learn
one.
all about
Is
it.
that the recommendation then to take the next step for somebody who's curious about checking things out, is to check out what kind of special they have going on today?
Check out the special. It's a special offer that we're offering just for listeners today. If you're not sure about us, pick something smaller. We have that lovely 72-hour kit that's just a small sampling of a few of our things. Maybe you don't know anything about survival food and you're like, that sounds terrible, but she said it tasted good. I want to try. Go ahead and do that. It's a much smaller investment, and you can find out about
And
it.
it's good for 25 years.
And it's good
So,
for 25
I mean,
years.
if not, try it 20 years from now.
In case you lose your job, you still have food. It's good.
There you go.
So here's my position on it, guys, just for the heck of it. For $1,000, you can get quite a bit of stuff.
Absolutely.
And I highly recommend next time you have a closing, make sure. Well, don't wait till you have a closing, but go ahead and have in mind what you're going to get. But don't keep putting it off. Okay, I promise you. Just the confidence, just the peace of mind. If nothing else, just the peace of mind. If you never taste it, but you have the peace of mind, knowing that if something happens, you're okay. You've taken good care of your family. You're okay with yourself. That you're okay. I mean, in today's world, there's a lot of value in just knowing, hey, I'm okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
There
To
absolutely
enjoy
is.
it the next day. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much,
Thank you.
Danielle, for being with us today. And thank you, everybody. We'd love to have you join us next week. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.